Thank you guys for joining us. Round number 3 of the GT3 Open Class Championship, proudly brought to you by Master. It's going to be an interesting race. We're at night, so just hope that Savvy is able to just keep up with the darkly coloured cars. But I do think that the night races do bring another dynamic, which is always fun and interesting, especially when you've got bright lights in your rearview mirror. Guys, please just watch those lines. If you do go off the track, it is quite tricky. Just please make sure it is safe before you rejoin the track. And if you are about to be left, please just make sure that you do leave enough space for those around you.
Okay, I've got that one.
Dirkie just fucking threw me off properly now.
Sorry.
Guys, enjoy racing. Let's get those thumbs up and get cracking. Let's get Chase back in the room here.
Hello, Dirk.
Remember to flash your lights on the grids, guys.
Oh yes, I'll remember. No, but I actually think that they sorted that out though.
Yeah.
Have they?
I'm sure they fixed it, yeah.
Nice.
To be safe, it's go on for peace.
Okay.
Peace.
Let's go.
Snaaks, ek en Dirk het nou die kamer ingekom.
Is my teammate here? Take that as a no. Still injured, obviously.
No,
Yeah,
he's
still
back.
injured,
Fucked.
Yeah. I know, he was telling me. I was just wondering if he made a miraculous recovery.
Not quite.
Yeah. No, shame, man. That's not cool. Shame. Feel for it. Oh, well, boys, good luck. And I'll see you guys at the end. Enjoy, guys. Have fun.
Cool, man.
Yes, cheers, man. Yeah, let's go enjoy.
Cheers, bro. Cheers.
Cheers, man. Cheers.
So welcome to this event right here at Sarko. We're going to be doing a couple of things this evening. We've got a pure out 10-minute practice session. The guys are going to be getting out there before we go into qualies, and then it's a night race. It seems to be quite warm, around about 28 to 29 degrees. And then it will be into the night, so hopefully with the dark cars or the darker color cars we can actually keep a track on who is where. So welcome to Sarko Racing. This is the GT3 series. I think it's round number 3 at the moment. So yeah, what an exciting championship this is turning out to be. And I tell you what, great to have you on board. If you are joining us via the stream, it's always a pleasure having you on board with us, and we'll take you through the paces this evening here on Sarko. So just buckle up, get ready for a fantastic race this evening. Lots of competitors on the track, and I'm sure they're going to be, as you can hear in the background, discussing the conditions, and I'll let them go. You can hear a bit of laughing and giggling going on. Obviously they're finding it quite difficult at the moment, so we'll leave you. We're on with Ross at the moment. We'll take you through the paces. He should be finishing a warm-up lap and basically going
Ja,
into
sorry.
a lap time.
Ek het so een oorklap in my kar se cabrio. Want as jy te veel gehad dan sit jy altyd om die een oog toe te hou terwyl jy bestuur. Dan sit ek net die oogklap op, dan gaan dit baie beter.
Of as 'n traffic op jou aftrek, dan sit jy hom aan en sê, "Fuck, ek het jou nie gesien nie." Jy kan mos sien ek het net een oog.
Jy was in die verkeerde kant van my.
Just under 6.5 minutes to go. We're on with Jazzman. I just heard he hasn't done any practicing for this event, so we'll see whereabouts. A nice little bit of
Right,
an
so
S
if you steal that
that he
Lambo.
needs to come through there. And I'm sure he's going to be keeping that steel in between the black this evening. Turbo Shawl just pushed out of the way. You can see Quicksilver. Let's go on board with him at the moment. Yes, he is in the Audi this evening and just pushed up a nice 1 minute 43.784. Is he going to maintain that lead, or are we going to see Ross coming back somewhat? Because I see he's in second position in the Lamborghini currently as we're talking. Jazz, nice time from him. Jazzman seems to put up a 144.454. So, yep, he's actually not doing too badly there either.
Yes,
But then comes Turbo Shaw, big back in. His teammate obviously was on top of the board there, but now it seems he's come back with a 142.621. So Quicksilver is slightly behind him at the moment, but he's just pumped himself into the pits, and I'm sure it's going to be an interesting one for all this evening. Let's just push down to RVR. At the moment, he's gone off the track also in an Audi A8. And yeah, doing a bit of signaling and a bit of U-turning there to get himself back in line on the track. Here is Yaku Racing. He's obviously one of the guys in the other Lamborghini here this evening, so he seems to be doing himself a favor by keeping that metal between the black, and it all looks good and well there. Just pushing down to Ash. Ash seems to be in the pits at the moment. Let's go to Dupe. Where's Dupe? He's also he's in a Bentley this evening. As you can see, he's pushing himself along quite nicely as well. A little bit off the pace, I would say, at 1 minute 47.245. But I'm sure he's going to do something to make a difference this evening and bring that back right on track. And it's all going to be happening here this evening in Portugal. If you were wondering where we are, we're actually in Portugal at the moment. And there we go. Turbo Shaw just put on another fast lap there. He's actually reduced his time down to 1 minute 42.060. So nice job from Turbo Shaw there. So as I said, I think we're on board with Dupe. Yep, we're on board with Dupe. Ash seems to still be in there. Rudy Bayers. He seems to be in. It looks like he's in the BMW. Yes, he is in the BMW, the yellow BMW. So I'm sure he's going to be quite eager in car number 177 at the moment. He's on the 146s, so I'm sure he's going to bring that back. Mal. He's also, it looks like a Bentley. He's in a Bentley. Yep, he is definitely in a Bentley. He's on the 147 mark at the moment. BA, yeah, he's sitting on 152. Still got two guys to come out. Vidaba, he's got to come out, as well as Bruno. He's also needing to come out there. And I see he's in the Cadillac. It looks like he's in the Cadillac. Yes, he is. And then this gentleman also having a look in the, looks like the Thrustmaster Audi at the moment. And obviously this series is being brought to you by Thrustmaster. So big up to Thrustmaster. And thank you for putting this together. Looks like Jake's also in a Thrustmaster car this evening, car number 14. So there is a bit of a difference between, I think there are, but we'll have a look. Yeah, car number 12 and car number 14. That is the Black Mambas of Jake and Dylan in the Thrustmaster branded vehicle. So, and there's a 1 minute 43.662. So third at the moment in this practice session, just a little bit over a minute to go, and it will be completed, and then the guys will be going into that qualification session, and that should then determine who is going to be leading this race this evening. It will start to get a little bit darker. 22 laps up here in Portugal. And, I mean, this 14-turn track, round about 4.35 kilometers. It's going to be an exciting one, all in all. So just to give you an indication, on top right now, Turbo Charles with that 1 minute 42.060. Nice time from him. He's sitting in the pits at the moment, just making sure that his time is not going to be overtaken there. Ross, very nice time from him. Let's go on board with him when the camera picks him up. There we go. He's in the Lamborghini. That's car number 158 this evening. And yeah, that 1 minute 43.297. So we'll be keeping a keen eye on him this evening. Around about 169 seconds left to go in this particular round before we move on. So race is completed. So just a little bit of time needed to get back into the pits, as you can see there. Dylan comes back in the caddy. And I tell you what a nice drive from him. Pushes him into third position at 1 minute 43.441. So remember, this is the practice session, which has just come to an end, and then the guys will be going out there for the qualification session.
Nou, ek het allemaal gedelete. Ek het net 3 oor.
Ja, ek het hier so iemand sê Dylan guinea pig. En dan het ek het. Fuck it. Ek het 'n dik trolle papa trol.
Dik trol en son level.
Yeah, there's Vidaba. And around about 102 seconds left in this practice session. I think the guys need the practice. That's why they're going to be out there. Dylan got a couple of laps invalid. So I'm sure he's not going to be too happy with himself there. He's going to have to bring that back in a big way this evening. And I'm sure he'll be looking to do that. There we go. VW into the pits, and that makes all of the guys into the pits there. So the session will come to an end, and we will move on. It looks like Bruno just disconnected. Hopefully he can come back there. But there's a very good outlay of who was first down to third. And Turbo Charles, as I mentioned there, that incredible time of 1 minute 42.060. And you can see the sectors where they're in. Obviously, tire selection will be very important for this evening's race. and they'll be wishing to make sure that they've absolutely adapted the setup for this evening to ensure that they've got that right, and obviously going to be pushing that through.
6 top voted drivers were Bruno, Charles, Dylan, Jakes, Ross and Marius, with our wildcard drivers being selected in Dupi and Gerard, with Dy13ri as our first reserve. Well done, boys.
Nice,
Good guys.
Awesome, thanks.
Lekker.
So this weekend, round about 9 o'clock South African time on Saturday, we'll be taking on a group out of the UK. I've just been informed, and that selection will be confirmed. But we are going to be taking on a team out of the UK. So get yourselves ready and prepared for that, because that will be happening this coming weekend.
Mooi man. Sorry Dylan. Hallo Dylan.
Hallo?
Wat is my rang daar gewees? Replacement.
Number 1 reserve, correct.
Number 1 reserve.
Yep.
Okay, sharp. Thank you.
So just an overview this evening, just to have a look what's going on here. Well, we're on with VW, about 13 minutes in this next session. This is the qualifications session. So we'll be looking out to see who is where and doing what. Keep an eye out for, I would say here, Bruno, Ross, as well as Turbo Charles. These gentlemen are going to definitely be battling for that top position, but who knows, we could have a wild card coming in. Old Jakes, let's see what he's doing this evening, and it could be done just in a little bit of a whisk and a whistle, just to get themselves into that top spot here on the grid this evening, so as the pole position holder. So we should be seeing some times coming through in the next couple of seconds. So we're looking down at 12 minutes and 30 seconds just to come on through now in this qualification session. This is the GT3 Championship of 2019, and it is March the 7th that's this championship is taking place, and I can tell you now the excitement is all around to see who's going to be doing their very best to make sure they take pole position in this particular session. So just a quick reminder, yes, we're in Portugal. It is an evening race, and through this marvelous track here in Portugal with 14 turns, and as I said, round about 4.38 kilometers, if I'm not mistaken. This is going to be a highly challenging event. There is one mandatory stop that is required, so that will change the dynamics of the strategy going forward. As I mentioned, temperatures around about 28 to 29 degrees Celsius, so track temperature going to be really influencing the race. The right combination on the tires are going to be important, and I'm sure even the aerodynamics as well going to make it very interesting for these competitors this evening. But it's all good and well to watch what's going on.
Sorry, Ash.
Just in time.
I lost it completely.
You lost it there.
So just a quick overview, we are at Sarko this evening. It's Project Car 2 Racing, it's the GT3 series, and I can tell you now, all and well. There is Bruno, right on top of the log there. Nice time from him, he's already in the pits, but you can see that Turbo Charles is coming out again. I think a slight adjustment there. He puts on a time of 1:42.342. And Turbo Shoal understanding that he needs to do better, so he's going to be going out in that Eagle pasted car to see what he can do and try and get that time back in hand. As I said, Ross in the Lamborghini, nicely done from him. That's car number 158. He's pushed himself to a 1:43.456, 59 should I say. And that's basically 1 second and 1/117th of a hundredth of a second behind there. So I'm sure he'll be looking to see what he can do better in order to get himself maybe in that pole position. Also, if we look there, Jake's nice time from him. Wow, got a nice time in there at 1:43.488. That's his time at the moment. He's coming through now. Maybe he can better that, and we can have a look if that's going to push him up the grid section this evening. But it seems as though he hasn't been able to do that. There we go. Nicely done. It looks as though that yeah, the Lamborghini has managed to put up a better time now. So it's under a second now. Jake's gone into the pit now. Quicksilver, very clear in car number 9 this evening, in that Audi R8 to see if he can push. That's the team of Turbo Charles, in the team of Turbo Charles, so I'm sure they're going to be looking for a strategy. Also 1:44.165 is the time that they put on at the moment. And we need to go and have a look what's going on with this gentleman this evening. I don't know what's happening. He seems to be just going off the track slightly. And we need to understand what's going on, because he's got now invalidated times. So I'm sure he's going to come back in a big way. And there it is. There I say it. He's put himself now into position number 6. A nice drive coming back there, Dylan. You didn't do so well in the first stretch, so nice to have you in at least 6th position at the moment. Dupe's done nicely as well. He's got a 1:44.420. Jacques Racing, he's put himself at a 1:44.450. So big up to him there at the moment. It looks like Jazzy, Jazz Man himself. He needs to get himself into the action, because he hasn't left the pits. Oh, he has left the pits, should I say, but he hasn't been able to get a time in. So, as of there, Jacques Racing, as I said, he's put himself in a position now, position number 8 at the moment. So, nicely done from him. V-Dubber coming out onto the track right now. And he put in that 1:44.526. So he's in 9th position. Nice to see that very close driving. It's just pushed him down to 10th position now. And the reason for that, obviously, it looks as though Quicksilver pushed himself in there. No, it wasn't. It was Jazzy himself. Jazzman himself put himself in there. A 1:43.559. So that definitely puts him in the top 5 at the moment. So that's a great comeback from his side there. RVR. He is in car number 64, which is also a Audi R8. And he's in 11th position at the moment. 1:45.351. is his current time. He's 3 seconds off the leader's pace at the moment. And then it is Ash. Ash, nicely done from his side. I think he is, it looks like he's in the Aston Martin. So pushing his way in the GT3 series here this evening. Had a bit of a front end. Try to reshape that car a little bit. And you can see a 1 minute 45.653. So nicely done. Mal from the Turbo Turtle Racing team. 147.638, currently in 13th position. So we'll have a look at what he's going to be doing. And then we have BA also in with that BMW. It looks as though he's the only BMW contender in that yellow BMW car number 176. I'm sure he's going to be wanting to smash that time to bring himself at least into the top 10. And I think he's going to be looking for any opportunity this evening to produce that type of flair. Rudy! Oh, I lie. Sorry, Rudy is actually the teammate. And he's also in that BMW. He's 177. So apologies there, guys. I thought that he was BA was the only BMW driver. But clearly I was mistaken. So let's just have a look quickly there. Turbo Shaw, Bruno, Ross, Jake's at the moment, Jacques, Jazzman in 6th position, Quicksilver in 7th, and then Dupe in 8th. Dylan's been pushed down to 9 there, and then obviously V-Dubber in 10th position. Ronaldo looking there, he's in 11th position, then Ash, then Mal, BA, and then Rudy. So that is the current lineup for this race. 15 drivers already and packed. Just over 3 minutes to go in this session. So it's going to be an interesting one this evening. Can't wait to see who is going to be conquering this track here in Portugal. As I said, it's a night race. So it's going to be an interesting one for all at the moment to see how they see those lines and get themselves into that position. But it all seems extremely clear. I don't think there's going to be any fog or rain at this event. I think it's a totally clear event. You can see the skies are quite clear, not a cloud in them at the moment. So that's going to be, I think, already communicated to the drivers that they're going to be able to have a clean race for this evening. So just under 1 minute to go. Turbo Shaw has now put on a 1 minute 41.961. So I think a bit of tweaking there and managed to secure that fantastic time. Obviously, we're going to be watching those times during the main event because the cars are going to be a lot heavier, and obviously they're not going to be able to do those super quick times because of the fuel content in the cars. But as I mentioned, it's all about the balance of the car. It's all about what they put on tires and going strong there. So 20 seconds left as we speak and ready to go.
Ash.
I told you thank you long before the time I did that. No, goodness. You're close to left in it though.
Yeah, it was invalidated. It is what it is.
Swak Nero. Oh, that's 3 places. 2 places. 3 places.
I would have been 6.
Yeah.
I'm every time like 1 second up and then I get somebody in front of me and I lose it. Oh, fuck.
There were shocks to the 136 if you have left. That's easier.
Like a doopie.
What? 136. I need.
Waar is jy?
Nee, ek is hier in my garage.
Ja. In jou garage?
Ja.
Ja, so ek sê welding
okay.
helmet.
Nee, het gaan nou donker wees hoor.
Right left.
Ry maar eens nog uit.
Right, gentlemen, pit strategies. Get them ready. Don't forget to select your setup once again, just in case.
So we're just waiting for the hot sink, and the guys will be ready to drive and take it away this evening. As you're watching, they're just giving the last briefing. So once you see the overall sync button on this screen, we'll be going into the race, and I'll be giving you updates of where they are. But you can see Turbo Charles right on the top there, as well as Bruno, then Ross, Jakes, Jazzman, you got Yaku, sorry, Jakes, then you've got V-Dubber, Quicksilver, Dupe, Ash, Dylan in 11th position there, Ronaldo in 12th, then Mal in 13th, 14th is Rudy, and then BA. He's in 15th position. So we're just waiting for that sync to happen, and then we'll be off for 22 laps of racing. Remember, I've just mentioned to you, we are in Portugal at the moment. It is going to be quite warm there this evening. So around about 26 to 28 degrees Celsius, depending where you are in the track. And obviously the selection has to be very, very important on that car. So all good and well and ready to fire up. There's the sync, so we'll be racing in a couple of seconds. So watch out and let's keep ourselves ahead. Remember, this is the Sarko event. There are the lights. It's green, and it's away they go at the moment. You can see at the moment it is Turbo Charles leading the pack at the moment. A quick rush in by Bruno at the moment, trying to get past there, but it seems as though Jake is coming to 3rd position. It looks all good and well. No serious incidents through that first turn. There will be a lot of packing up. There seems to be an incident, but I'm sure that's going to be handled with delicate gloves at the moment. As you can see right now, it looks as though Turbo Charles is leading this race with Bruno, Jakes, and it looks like Jazzman right there on the tail. Jacques, a Quicksilver looks to be a little bit out there. He's been taken by Ross at the moment now, And I tell you what, it's going to get even more tighter when it comes in to this event. Going down now to Jakes, who's in third position, Bruno in second there, and Turbo Charles seems to have a slight gap on these gentlemen here this evening. So it all looks good and well. Let's just have a look at Turbo Charles. You can see how close this is. There is a bit of kissing going on there, and there is somebody off the track. It looks like it's Vida, but he's been sort of offline there. As I mentioned, you've got to keep the metal between the black here, but you've also got to avoid the other metal that's coming around the corners. So it seems as though right now, it looks as though Bruno is moving up on Turbo Charles at the moment. It seems as though it is pretty close between these drivers at the moment. We might take a camera view and go on board with them. I think that may be even better. But let's have a look in the cockpit view now, coming up with Bruno on the back of Turbo Charles, and he's looking to see if he can get around him in some space and obviously push the element to see if he can come through there. So it does seem to be quite close racing by all. And just a quick one, if we go up to Jakes, you can see that distance is getting away from him at the moment, but this gentleman is right on Jakes' tail at the moment, and that is Jazz Man looking to see if there's an opportunity to get around that that Audi R8. He's definitely wanting to get around him at the moment, so he'll be looking to see. There, he's gone a bit wide. Is he going to cut in it? There seems to have been a slight incident there between himself and looks like Jakes is out of the running now, because it does seem as though Jazz had come around slight and given a bit of a push and a nudge to say I'm there, but now it's all down to him to see if he can come back. Here we are on board with Bruno, looking at Turbo Charles in front of him, and I'm sure he's going to want to make a difference here and get through that situation. So let's go back onto sidetrack chase, and let's see if we can see how close this racing is at the moment. There's Bruno in that Chevrolet, in that Cadillac, seeing if he can get up close and personal with Turbo Charles at the moment. So it's all down to where he's going to put himself on the track and where he's going to be coming out at the moment. Nice to see that little move there by Ross. He seems to have pushed himself up above Quicksilver. So you can see the two Lamborghinis, that is 158 there, and on board with Ross at the moment, and in car number 157, that is Jacques Racing, who's slightly ahead of his teammate, but I'm sure he's going to be pushing himself as quickly as he can to ensure that he's going to get there and come through on that particular section there. Let's go back now to Quicksilver and see where he's positioned himself. He's in that Eagle R8 Audi, and he's got in front of him quite a bit of a brick wall with those two Lamborghinis really pushing themselves around and in front of him at the moment from Ross and from Jacques Racing. So that's going to be an interesting one there. Slightly behind now is the Bentley of Mal from Turtle Turbo Racing, and I'm sure he's going to be looking to see how he's going to do something with this gentleman who's just in front of him in the R8. Oh, and there is a huge accident that is done and dusted there. I think Jakes now is going to drop right down. He's going to battle to bring himself in. You can see the serious damage that's already been done to both cars there. I don't know what the incident was, but all I saw was Jakes slamming into the back of Ross. I think a little bit of a altercation there, causing huge damage to these cars. So we'll have to see exactly what he's going to be doing now, because that is going to affect this race in a huge way at the moment. Bruno coming through there. He's now pushed himself right there across to position number 2, still there, still trying to capture obviously Turbo Charles, who's led this race right from the very start. As I said here, lap number 4, 22 laps in this race here, and it is an evening race, so you can see the temperatures going very well now, and they seem to have those tires up to track temperature, and obviously you'll start to see these guys being able, huge incidents. We've got 4 pitters at the moment, 4 pitters, and that's all taking place right now as I'm telling you. So Jake's in there, Dylan in 11th position. He is in the Black Mamba Thrustmaster car at the moment, and I'm sure he's going to be looking for any opportunity at this point in time to make sure he creeps up that ladder, and he'll be pushing very, very hard to see if we can do that. So moving up to lap number 5 now, and you can see he's still on the leaderboard at the moment. Turbo Charles, Bruno, Quicksilver, very nice stuff from him, brings himself into 3rd position at the moment. However, I think this gentleman, Jacques Racing, he's not going to let that gentleman get too far in front of him. I think he's going to be looking, how do I take Quicksilver down? And you can see right now it's some pretty close racing going on there. So that could be the interesting one that we need to just engage with at the moment, and see where we are going to be taking this one. And all good and well right now when it comes down to this. So now the time has come for some really hard thinking between these drivers, especially in the top 5, because they're going to be thinking about, when do I pit at the moment? 6 laps, 22 to go, 22 laps, 6 done and dusted. So now it's all about thinking about the strategy. When do I pit? When am I going to put in? How much time do I need to spend? What quantity of fuel do I need to finish to the end of the race? And this is all going through their heads at the moment, and some decision making needed to be made in order to carry on through after that mandatory stop that must occur. There we go. You can see down the bottom there, Jake's in 12th position, Ash, Ross in 14th, and then Ronaldo in 15th position. In your midsection, and that is BA, Rudy, Dylan, Jazzman, he's down in 8th position. I think terrible accident occurring there, so obviously creating a bit of issues there. Then you've got Duke Mal It looks as though Bruno still going at an incredible time there, and I just need to bring you to the attention there of a 1:43.915. So that looks to be the quickest lap of the race right now. So very nicely done from him. But let me go back there. That's Mel. It is Jacques, and then Quicksilver, Bruno, and Turbo Charles on the top of the leaderboard. 7th lap done. And obviously now, as I said, being on board with Bruno, there seems to be some distance now between Turbo Charles, and let's see if we can see how far that distance is. It looks to be around about 3 seconds, but you know, 3 seconds is a hell of a distance when it comes to this type of racing as well. To get that back in, this is all strategy time. You can see there comes Bruno in the back there as we go around. So he could be coming back now to see if he needs to get as close to Turbo Charles as possible. But I'm also interested in Turbo Charles' teammate, Quicksilver 73. He looks to be obviously just in front of him. He's got a couple of oddies, but I'm sure he'll be looking to get them out of the way so he can get closer to Bruno at the moment. It is 11 seconds, so there is quite a distance to go. So he'll be looking down the straight now, seeing 2 cars, and you can see them coming through at the moment. And he needs to also make a decision, when does he pit. And I reckon probably lap number 12 might be the option to come in, but that all depends on the fuel carried forward into the first session of this race to ensure how far they want to go. Do they have enough fuel to get them around for those 12 laps? And that's an important one, especially when you want to keep these cars going as quickly as possible, and obviously to maintain that high level of speed. Also to get those tires nicely warmed up. Are they going down and having new ones fitted, and then coming back in a big way to sort that out? So what I'm going to do now is just leave you with some great views of the vehicles going through. We'll push you up to maybe look at Bruno at the moment. Turbo Charles right there as well, just so you can have an understanding of what they're facing in this nighttime race, and in order what they need to do in order to ensure they keep themselves in that great position. So all good and well here. Obviously they're going along. They've got that nice deep turn that's coming up to the right, almost 90 degrees, and then another 90 degree coming in as you come around here, and then you've got a sort of a nice little kink into an S section here where they need to bring themselves a little bit wider, but then come in nice and tight in there, and then way down into a section where it's going to get all flat out, and then nicely on the brakes into the left-hander, and then coming up the hill into another left-hander, and then you've got a deep section where you need to watch yourself, which is going to go right, and here's that right-hander, and right again, which you can sort of put up the speed and get it nice and tight. Then you're going to go straight up the hill, sort of down the hill into a left-hander here. So all good and well. We're on lap number 9. And then it's another right-hander here, quite a deep right-hander, which seems to bring you in. Then a very sort of long lefty, which you need to push through into another left, and then you're going to go flat out now into this right-hander, which carries you all the way through to the start and finish. So it's all, here we are, nicely closely tighted. Here's that long right-hander as I was mentioning, and then flat out. The pit entrance is just there. You're just going to go way up the hill, and then straight across start and finish. So that was a lap done. Here's the finishing of that lap by Turbo Charles at the moment. So that was a lap number 10 at the moment. So we are going to be sticking on with him at the moment, because if he goes in, he's definitely got Bruno that's going to come in probably at a similar time, because that 3 seconds is going to be a big one. So if there's as little damage to their car as possible, that's obviously going to affect the overall time of them going in and obviously putting themselves down. So all good and well now. Let's have a look where Bruno is. Nicely positioned. I think he's going to watch that. Turbo Charles 14 seconds ahead of position number 3, and that's his teammate Quicksilver there. And then it goes 17, 31, 32. So quite a distance Turbo Charles has now up on his competitors. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting one for them all at the moment. Let's bring you back on board, and we'll just sit back, enjoy the view from Bruno at the moment, and obviously see where he ends up on this track this evening. So going into lap number 13 at the moment is Turbo Charles. There you can see Bruno pitting, and this could be an interesting set. Yes, he's having a couple of changes, and I'm sure that's all going to be good for him to get out there as soon as he can and obviously make that. It looks as though Quicksilver has gone past now, and it looks as though they are spending a bit of time in the pits to get that car, but you can see there is somebody waiting now to, and it looks like Rudy, he's now gone into the pits as well. Turbo Charles on lap number 13 at the moment, looking pretty comfortable in that top spot. So we'll be seeing where he's going to be pushing himself, and obviously having a look and taking a look at what he needs to do in order to remain in front at the moment. I can see still Jazz, looks like Jazz Man has put on the quickest time now at 1 minute 43.760, so he's moved up into third spot. Pretty tight on the track at the moment. It looks as though he's come back a long way in that. It looks like yes, it is a Lamborghini, and that's car number 67. His partner not with us this evening. That is all there. Somebody has disconnected, so that's unfortunate, but DCs do happen, and unfortunately that's the way it goes. But looking right now, we can just give you the top four. Turbo Charles in top position there. Here we go on board with Quicksilver. Jazzman, he is in third position at the moment. Looks as though, yes, he's been overtaken by Bruno at the moment. So there we go. Bruno moves up into fourth position, so he got out nicely. He's going to be breathing down I think Jazzman's neck any second now, because he's really pushing himself around this track, so we'll watch that time as well. It all looks good from this particular view at the moment. And then Mal in sixth position. You can see he's got the yellow lights out at the moment, so that's going to push him as far as he can go in that Bilston motor vehicle. He's gone into the pits right now. This means that Jacques Racing, he's coming through start and finish now. Just behind him at the moment is Dylan. Dylan obviously looking to see where he's going to be coming up, and you can see that's really great driving from them. So VW into the pits, Mal into the pits at the moment. Jakes, obviously from that serious incident, is way back, and he's sort of pushing himself into the 1 minute 46s at the moment. So he'll be looking to do something special to see if he can push himself way up the line at the moment. So Turbo Charles in lap number 14, coming up on the back marker, so that's going to be an interesting thing. I think he wants to put those back markers in front of him. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, and I'm glad to be on board with him at the moment, so we can see exactly what his strategy is going to be. There, a little bit out, a little bit of tight cornering there. You can see he's going to be coming back now, trying to get himself in front of those back markers, because that will definitely give him some space for that particular maneuver of doing that pit stop at the moment. So we'll be watching what he's going to be doing right now. You can see nicely moved out of the way there, the back marker. Hopefully no touching. Yes, no touching, so that's great stuff from them. And he's just past Ash at the moment, who's currently in 10th position. So we'll see what he'll be doing. Lap number 15 is the count at the moment of 22 laps, so it is going to be hot to the wire coming through this pack at the moment. So let's stay on board with Turbo Charles to see how he's going to be navigating his way through these back enders. So as I mentioned, Turbo Charles coming up onto the back markers at the moment. He's now out and about. Lap number 16 of 22 laps. So yeah, he's going to be coming up on those back markers, trying to put himself in front of them. And that will obviously give their... Oh, it looks as though somebody has crashed out at the moment. So you could see him deep into the wall there. And yep, that's what it's all about, is trying to keep this metal between the black. And sometimes that's not always possible, especially when you're driving at night and trying to navigate yourself around this track at the moment here in Portugal. Let's go back down to Quicksilver at the moment. He is currently 16 seconds off the pace. So Turbo Charles doing a nice job of keeping himself really out in front, and also now taking on the back markers. If we look now at Jazzman, he's doesn't seem to be in a difficult position. He's seemed to have put himself in that third spot, which is holding him quite nicely placed in car number 63 to obviously do something there. Here we go now. This is the position number 4 driver. That's Bruno. Bruno pushing his way through these corners, making sure he's trying to get the best possible angles in and maintain that speed going through these chicanes in this caddy. So Rudy's now gone into the pits at the moment. Let's pop on back to him. As you see, Turbo Charles now overtaking another back marker here. And yeah, there we go. He's really dominating on lap number 17 now. This particular race, great driving you are witnessing here this evening. So hopefully you're enjoying the stream. It is brought to you by Thrustmaster, and it's great to have them on board with us in this season. And I can tell you what, 2019 has definitely brought some excitement to this GT3 series, and it has been a very exciting one at that. So just to let you know what's available from Thrustmaster, if you're looking for that professional driving experience, why don't you get yourselves down and looking at what's available from Thrustmaster. Here we have a complete unit which can be configured for GT3 racing as well as Formula 1 racing. And I tell you what, high quality metal setup, and I can tell you what, it will do justice to any enthusiastic online racing driver. The quality is absolutely fantastic. So just to let you know, this particular gear is available in South Africa, and what it is just unbelievable gear that you can get hold of via Thrustmaster. So put yourself in the seat of a real driving experience with Thrustmaster, and you can do that. And if you want more information about where you can get this type of setup, why don't you get onto the Facebook page and you can ask around, and obviously you can find out exactly where to put yourself to get that very realistic and unbelievable driving experience with Thrustmaster. So you are on board with us here on the South African Racing Community Online. It is our championship racing that you're watching at the moment. It is the GT3s, and I can tell you now the experience is fantastic series so far. And as you can see, Turbo Charles is leading Portugal at the moment. I think he's had his fair share of ups and downs. His closest rival is round about 15 seconds away, but he seems to be dominating quite nicely here in this Portuguese track. And I tell you what it is round about 14 turns, and you can see how clear the sky is. Nice weather to be driving this evening, and this R8 Audi has definitely dominated this evening's events, and what an experience and a thrill it's been for these guys this evening. So that's always good to watch what's going on. We do have a number of questions about where can we get on board, where can we join, how do we get involved in online racing in South Africa. Well, I can tell you, you can do it quite easily by just going off to the Facebook page, and you can be just putting down a query or two on the Facebook page, and we'll contact you and get involved. If you're serious about online racing, why don't you do that? And all here happening in South Africa. So guys, don't be shy. As I said, we've got a major event coming up this weekend, and that's all taking place on Saturday, 9 p.m. South African time. And there seems to be a particular fraternity in the UK that has decided to challenge us, our South African crew. So that's going to be great. We're looking forward to that event. I have been given an invitation to do a bit of commentary for that particular event, so you can join us and watch what goes down right here on this channel. So or we'll even embed the link of this channel so you can have both perspectives of the racing that will be taking place here on the South African racing community online. So Sarko giving you the best of racing here this evening, and you can see it's all happening on Project Cars 2. So always available. It looks as though, there we go, Jazzman has moved up into second position there. Quicksilver in the pits at the moment. This means there is definitely an opportunity for Bruno to take that third spot. Is he going to be doing it? Let's push that away. Yes, he's just done it. And how close is it? At the moment, you can see Bruno coming out. So this means that Jacques, wherever he is at the moment on the track, can he get round? I don't think so. I think that cemented fourth spot for Quicksilver has just been embedded right now, so he's got no worries there. He'll stay in fourth at the moment. Bruno in third position. Is he going to come back? Lap number 20, 2 laps to go in this race, 26 seconds ahead of the nearest rival. So that is an absolute unbelievable feat from Turbo Charles at the moment. Nicely done from his side, bringing himself into that number 1 spot. And this is going to be an exciting finish. As I said, Jazz man there done very nicely with the quickest time currently on the track at 1 minute 43.792. And it's going to be an interesting one, that it is. Quicksilver just had a lap of 2 minutes 10 because of that pit stop, but that's not taking anything away. I think we've just had another disconnect, unfortunately now, and it just goes to show you've got to be so careful when you're going around this track. It looks as though we may have lost. No, he's still there. I thought we had lost somebody, but I see he's still present and attending on the track at the moment, so that's good news there. But we do have of the 15 drivers that started, 3 drivers already DC'd, so that's unfortunate. So going into lap number 21 at the moment, as you can see, Jazzman is 26 seconds behind. Looks as though Dylan's got some close racing. Why don't we go down to him at the moment, just before the end? There we go. Look at that. Nicely done from Dylan's side. He's trying to get past Jacques at the moment. Jacques Racing. So that's all happening here for that 5th position. So there we go. Nicely done. So great driving, all in all. You can see what's happening between these two contenders at the moment. Oh, a little bit of a bump there by Dylan, but there goes this man into the pits now. He's got basically 22 seconds to go on the last lap. Is he going to be able to maintain that? Here comes Jazzman looking to come in to take that position at the moment. Here we go. Are they taking too long? It seems as though he's out, so it doesn't seem. Now we're down to 7 seconds, 5 seconds at the moment. Here we go. Is this going to happen right here in front of us? Is there going to be... Yes, there has. Jazzman goes into the top spot at the moment. So this means that Turbo Charles needs to get himself into that top position. Was that the right strategy on the last lap? You can see there just ahead of him at the moment is Jazzman, and he put it way earlier to bring himself into that position. So he's now way out in front. Is Turbo Charles going to come back, and was that the right strategy? It looks as though he is catching him quite quickly though, so this could be an exciting end to this race at the moment. So there is Jazzman now leading this race on lap number 22. So he's coming up and down, and there's Turbo Charles at the moment. Bruno, he's 12 seconds off the leader at the moment, so that's quite an interesting one. Let's go back on board with Turbo Charles in second position with Jazzman leading the race now. Is he going to be able to bring himself back? 4 seconds off the pace. I think he's left it too late, Turbo Charles. I think maybe that pit should have happened a little bit earlier, but this is the unpredictability of this type of racing, is that sometimes the correct pit strategy is going to put you in, and it looks like Jazzman takes this race, followed by this gentleman who is Turbo Charles, coming down to Bruno at this point in time. And I tell you what a nice race these guys have had this evening. It's been all well excitement. Here comes now Quicksilver into that 4th position, round about 18 seconds behind behind Jazzman, and nicely done, guys. It's been terrific racing, really fantastic to have you on board with us, and all thrills and spills did take place this evening. So as I mentioned, next week Thursday you can join us for the the Formula C, and that's going to be some great racing. So that's next week, and you can join us then. And then the week after that, on Thursday, back to the GT3s. So that's also going to be exciting. So let me just give you a quick rundown. Jazzman, Turbo Charles, Bruno, Quicksilver, Jacques into 5th position, Dylan in 6th, V-Dubber in 7th, Jakes in 8th, Mal in 9th, and if you look there, Ash in 10, Ross unfortunately having a bit of a heavy bashing, came into 11th position, and then BA, he is in 12th position. As we count down the last 30 seconds of this race, it's been a fantastic opportunity for these drivers to go forward and have plenty of fun here on the South African racing community online. So it's been a whole lot of fun. Remember, you can join us on the Facebook page, and it's all about having fun. So let's go back to the drivers, listen how they raced, and listen how it went.
Well done, Jared.
Racing, guys.
Sure. Good racing.
Well done, everybody.
That's a shock result for me.
Yo,
Lambo.
that's a shock result.
Shark for Milan, how's your nerves feeling? Man, I thought he was still pitting, so I was taking it easy, just staying behind him, realized 3 laps to go. Oh shit, he's not pitting, I need to have a take. Damn it, what a race.
Well done. Jacques, jy's gelukkig, jy's gelukkig. Jy's gelukkig. Sy loop by streek gekry het.
Nee, ek het hom net geneem. Ek het net mak gemaak.
That was an intense race.
Oh, okay, okay. No, that's good, it is good fun. Go is doing something funny.
Ach man, die reis was poes man.
Fastest doesn't always win.
Jakes, what happened then?
No, somebody fucked up my race for me. I don't know who it is. I think I know who it is, but
Fokker wil net eens weer ek.
ja, dis nie ek dink nie.
It's definitely ek. It was ek because I had a bit of a touch in the first corner and I went into fixed damage.
Thank you guys, I'll be off. Thank you for the rest, boys.
Thanks, Thanks for joining.
Cheers, het is lekker. Het is fun.
I think I needed to be on the hard tires for this race.